we initially started this aircore campaign in August, and we did get a little bit rained off, but we did some work through September and into October. So we managed to complete a fair portion of the campaign, drill testing along the Menzies shear zone and also a bit further across into the ultramafic, which we also know is sheared with quite a lot of alteration. So what we found with the aircore was that we were picking up mineralisation along that trend. It looks as though Star of Goongarrie is a little bit offset to the east, but nonetheless, the Duchess trend through to Duke of York is very interesting. And we do see that we have 1 gram per tonne distributed across the aircore between those two prospects. So that's really exciting. And it's really lined up. Well, it shows us that that corridor in particular is prospective over about 700 metres strike, which is really exciting. These results are very shallow, though. I guess that's the important thing about aircore is you're testing just the top of fresh rock, but it really gives you a good indication of, that you're in the zone and where to target things at depth. Yeah, so we intend to get the aircore rig out there as soon as we can in early November, and we will be testing further along the Menzies strike. So this is a really good opportunity, and I guess the design of this program expanded once we got the results in, and we also got some more interpretation work done on our geophysics as well. So we know we've got a lot of complex structures around the Menzies shear, a lot of northwest structures and northeast structures. So we're really targeting that along strike, those zones of complexity, if you like. Yeah, we're really hoping to identify some new targets here along that 7 kilometres strike, and I should point out that that is just on the southern tenement area. We have much more strike extent of the shear zone on the northern tenement area, but also a number of parallel shear zones and fault structures that are also really regionally significant. So they will be in the pipeline for targets to test, but nonetheless, at the moment, this upcoming aircore program that's been expanded, we aim to focus on that 7 kilometres of strike, identify gold mineralisation in those zones of structural complexity, and then that will assist in informing our RC drill program, which will be conducted next year. So it's just opening up more targets at depth for us to test with RC drilling next calendar year. Yeah, it's interesting. They're currently working on their resource upgrade, which is due out Q4. And interestingly enough, they have, a lot of old gold workings, which we also see on our structures. And what they did initially was target areas of structural complexity that had old gold workings, and they looked at following that up with some surface soil sampling and also drilling around these areas beneath the old workings and along strike in areas where there was concentrations of major structures. So I think that's really the critical piece here is the structural complexity is, important for gold deposits. And so that's what they targeted, and they did really well. Clearly, they're moving in the right direction for expanding the resource. And historically, they might, well, not really gold, but historically, certainly Comet Vale was mined about 200,000 ounces, I believe. And that was, they stopped mining there about 5 years ago. But the early results from Comet Vale drilling, especially at Lakeview, were very similar actually to what we saw initially in our RC campaign. So there's potential for us for north-south mineralised structures, but also those cross structures, which are also important where they cross over those major shears. For instance, Gorilla Gold got 3 metres at 10.8 and 7 metres at 5.5. And from our previous RC campaign, we had 6 metres at 10.3 and 10 metres at 5.7. So, sort of ballpark results. So I think we're really scratching the surface here, and it's exciting. We're in a really prospective district. And yeah, these structures are important, certainly the north-south trending shears and also the northwest trending structures. We're also seeing complexity with northeast structures as well. But nonetheless, yeah, plenty of targets to test on our ground. And yeah, we're at the moment focused on the southern license, but as we move further north into the northern license, there's certainly, a lot of structures that run through our tenement that sort of wrap into Lakeview as well. So it's really interesting and complex, which is great, makes it exciting.